Hey guys, Marsing here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today I wanted to have a look at the crossover team as it stands now. Obviously we are about to get some buffs with a new Heroes banner, obviously very excited for that. I'm looking forward to seeing what the final units are going to be and doing a few summons on that banner. So one thing that a lot of people say, I keep seeing it come up in the discussion, that the Heroes units do not age well and are not that great, so you shouldn't skip other banners for them. And then obviously other people argue, you know, they only come around once a year, so, and obviously the next time the banner comes out, all of the previous featured units are now in the unfeatured pool, so they're harder to get. So I wanted to just throw together a crossover team that we can use right now, see how good it is still today. Obviously, like I say, we are going to get a whole load of new buffs very soon, but I've jumped into the Black Star Dragon Balls Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. This is the latest one that's released on Global, or at least the highest numbered stage, so I know they released some of them in a weird order, but we're going to go ahead and just play through this one. So almost the entire team is just straight out Dragon Ball Heroes units, because obviously crossover kind of invalidated the Heroes category a little bit, because every single unit in Heroes is in crossover, but then there's also a bunch of other units in there as well, making it the far superior team, even if you want to run a team that is mostly Heroes characters, because obviously Mars Saiyan, like the Bardock OG version, comes from Xenoverse, but a lot of people consider him to be more of a Heroes character than, like, you know, the normal canon timeline. So him being able to be on crossover when he wasn't on Heroes is really good. The rotation of him and the Dark Mask King does actually work quite well together. The only downside is the Dark Mask King, to get his full passive, which gives him really good defense and damage reduction and everything, he needs a Dragon Ball Heroes ally on the same turn. So on other team builds, you can't actually put him with the Masked Saiyan, and then obviously if you get a non-Heroes unit float into slot 3, then Dark Mask King's not going to get his passive. But every single other unit on this team is a Heroes unit, so it doesn't matter who comes into slot 3, he's always going to have his passive active. So unfortunately this guy locks us in place, and I didn't bring an item for that, which is a common occurrence in these videos, so we weren't able to set the rotation the way we wanted. We will get to see the Supreme Kai of Time take some attacks further in when she's in her more optimal position, because obviously she is a third slot floating support unit, but she does massively raise her defense on super attack, so her defense after supering is actually pretty decent. And obviously if she double supers, then she does have really good defense. So I'm hoping, obviously she's going to be unfeatured on the next banner, but I'm hoping to pull more copies of her and fix up her hidden potential system, because when she first came out, she didn't have the defense raise on super, so I gave her quite a bit of dodge. So obviously I want to change some of that to additional, but like I said, unfeatured, you never know. Like, there's still 2, I think, Heroes units that I don't have at all, despite how much I summoned on the previous one, just because it's so hard to get the unfeatured units. I still need the Baby Janemba and the STR, like, Super Pycon. So yeah, hopefully, you never know, get some copies of them this time around. It's a good thing that all of the units that are getting awakenings that we've seen so far, those 5 units, they'll all be featured. I need more copies of the Goku, the Vegeta, and the Vegex. I did rainbow the 2 actual, like, fusion dance fusions, the Gohanks and the Xeno Gotenks, but the only good thing is, of course, they're awakening into units with a different name, so if I do pull a bunch of extra copies of them from this banner, which I assume I will, since it's, you know, guaranteed featured and everything, at least I can keep those extra copies and have the base form versions as well. Probably won't use them for much, because Heroes team is going to be looking even stronger after this new banner comes out. But yeah, so far no particular issue so far with the in terms of difficulty. Dark Mask King, obviously not the hardest hitting unit in the world, but his main draw is his defense. He also heals on super attack, which can be really useful. He does lower attack on super. I think all of the 3 Mars Saiyans that we have in the game do, but obviously in this event we can't do that as we get through a certain part. Mars Saiyan, I'm so happy that, like, he got an easy A that was actually really good, because in these longer form events, obviously, like, he's an infinite stacker, so he's really good. Now, Tech Super Saiyan 4 Broly, obviously he's not on his ideal turn here, so he did double super, which is good, but only hitting around 2.5 on his attack stat. obviously once we have him on the proper rotation, which got messed up because of the rotation locking in the previous turn, the rotation where he's with Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is really, really good. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito does raise defense on Super, so technically he is better defensively in slot 2 or 3, but his defense is still solid enough that you can run him in slot 1, and obviously he does have that ability to counter super attacks, which is always nice when that goes off. So let's see, after super attacking once, yeah, see, then she takes double-digit damage. I know we have another support unit on the rotation, but that's still very, very good for a unit that is, quote-unquote, just a support unit. Demon Goddess Toa is still pretty decent as well. Her defense is not as good, but obviously for this turn at least we do have type advantage. So, since you're an infinite stacker, I'll probably want to get another attack with you. What's his defense looking like? His defense is already at 200k. He shares 3 links with the Dark Mask King. Obviously, if we have him in the middle, we'd get Fierce Battle from Vegito as well. But because he's an infinite stacking unit, it doesn't matter so much as we get further in if we don't have all of his links active. This is a little bit unfortunate, though. We'll take damage from this. 100k. That's still not too bad. And then a 3.1 million attack stat. We're getting some support from the Vegito as well, because remember, he gives 20% support to Crossover and 20% to Giant 8 Power. So all of the heroes units are going to be getting that, and obviously Marseillan as well. But now we have the rotation that we wanted to see. So what is Vegito's defense here? 153k. So not too bad. He shouldn't take too much damage from normals here. Obviously, if we get supered and he doesn't counter, that's when he's not going to look particularly good defensively. And Broly does get basically all of his defense on super attack, so you can't really put him in slot 1. But there you go, we took, what, 7,000 and then 3.5 million attack stat. Sadly, no crit, so type disadvantage means we don't do a huge amount of damage. And then, yeah, post-super attack, we take double digits. But yeah, this rotation, where Broly is with Vegito and a support unit, 4.6 million attack stat. He can potentially super attack 3 times in 1 turn. We only got the 2, unfortunately. But still, 2 4.6 million attack stat supers and an additional normal thrown in there as well. And then he's tanking for basically double digits. I mean, this is what you see. Like, the heroes units definitely drop off in power compared to the power creep of, like, the Dokkan Fest exclusives that are coming out and stuff like that. But, like, when people straight up say that, like, the heroes units are just not good, like, by the next year, hopefully by watching this, like, you can kind of see that that is not the case, right? Now, obviously, don't get me wrong, like, we're doing Infinite Dragon Ball history. This stage is not obviously the easiest one, but it's not quite at the difficulty of, like, the GT Legendary Goku event or something like that. Now, that is a stage which I don't think I could build. Well, maybe if I get really lucky, I could probably do it with a crossover team, but they don't have a lot of infinite stacking units, so even units that are looking fairly decent on their best rotations here, like, say, Super Saiyan 4 Broly after he's super attacked, even if his defense is still relatively good, if he gets super attacked by, like, full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku or the Golden Ozaru, like, he's just dead, which is a lot of units in that event, to be fair. But crossover doesn't really have a lot of really, really good long event tanks. Like, you've got units like the Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who's good. When he got his awakening, he was considered pretty much like Dokkan Fest exclusive level. He was so good, but he definitely has dropped off a little bit. Like, his attack stats aren't the craziest, and he has very good damage reduction on a full team of, like, heroes allies though. So that, compared with or stacked up with pretty decent defense, does make him quite good defensively. But I would be interested to see how much he takes from a super attack from the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But maybe we will jump in. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you want to see me try and do the GT Legendary Goku event with a crossover team before the new hero stuff comes out, because obviously we don't know how that's going to affect. I mean, we could get a bunch of really crazy good, like, tanks or infinite defense stackers, but let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing, and I will try and do that at some point over the next couple of days. Obviously, we should get all the World Tournament rewards potentially tomorrow, and then we're basically right on the doorstep of the next celebration releasing, which I'm still pretty much convinced there's going to be Gogeta with everything that we've seen so far. Obviously, nothing has been 100% confirmed in-game, so we could still be surprised, but that's what I'm hoping to see. So, and I'll probably post on Twitter about it, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's not something I need to make, like, a whole video about. But if you're an Android player and use Google Play, check in your Play Store, because there's a thing that you can use to get triple points for, I think it's 3 days from once you activate it, and it's available in the shop now. I think it still lasts for a few days. So if you are on Android, if you're going to be buying stones or like the Pilaf Trove pack or anything like that for when this Gogeta banner comes out, make sure you go in and activate that first, because then you'll get the triple play points on everything. So there you go. I'm going to be doing that for ready for Thursday morning. It is for me when the banner drops. So yeah, let's go ahead here. Broly should do a pretty insane amount of damage on this turn. Vegito, obviously we're getting the support from Toa, but Vegito's still tanking for double digits in slot 1, despite the fact that we're near the end of this event. So, you know, units that raise defense on Super, obviously they're much better defensively after Supering, but they're not necessarily bad. Unfortunately, this is the downside though. As I'm praising him, look what happens. He does have the same sort of flaw, I guess, that like in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has, where countering supers is great, but when you don't counter the super, he does actually take quite a bit of damage. You saw there, 177k. It's quite a lot. Now obviously it's unfortunate timing as well, because we're just getting Toa floated off the rotation, but Toa does have that very useful ability as well of being able to regain us a whole bunch of HP once only, and it gives a buff to extreme class allies. So another rotation locker. Wow, I really shouldn't have picked this stage, should I? I picked this one because it was the highest like stage number, but I was not expecting it to. I forgot it had 2 stages that lock you in place. That's not great. So 60k from type disadvantage pre-super. That is probably more what you'd expect from the kind of unit that you don't really want to get attacked before supering. 20k afterwards. I would still argue that that's not too bad for type disadvantage, and we are on... This is the final stage of this run, isn't it? So that's not too bad, really. Marseille getting supered now. His defense is quite high. Yeah, double-digit damage, okay. I need to defense check him on the next turn. And then, of course, Dark Mask King, he gets us a nice little bit of a heal off of his attacks as well. So, and then he's tanking for double-digit damage. So, very, very good. Like, there are a lot of teams in the game, like even some of the better teams, where if you're getting, like, the wrong unit is taking a super or taking type disadvantage hits, you're going to be taking this kind of damage, even for some of the better teams. So, it's definitely not a downside. This rotation locking, oh my god. I'm going to mention this in videos forever till the end of time, but I hate this mechanic the most, because, like, I want to show off this team and show off the rotations, and, like, this is not a rotation that I want to run. I guess with the item active, I should have just put Vegito in slot 1, but I wanted Broly to at least have some of his links active here. Yeah, 33k. Now, with the item active, post-super, she should be taking double-digit damage, but, man, rotation locking is so annoying. That'll be my gripe with the game until the end of time. Just stop putting it in these events. I know it does make it more difficult, which kind of is the point, I guess, to add to the challenge. But, like, when you're replaying it and you just want to use fun teams and try out certain rotations. I mean, there are certain, obviously, stages of Infinite Dragon Ball history where they don't do that. So I should probably just try and remember which ones those are and only do those for showcase videos. But, I mean, even so, this is like a real-life scenario of what can happen if you take the team into an event. So Broly still tanking double digits from normal attacks is really good as well. Obviously, we do have the item active, and I think the support memory, but still. Alright, Vegito getting locked in the middle is actually not too bad. So, what is Marseille's defense now? We're getting support from Toa, 350k. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll grab these. So, I don't know if this will be the last turn. It depends. Marseille, if we get like a double super out of him or something, this is going to be a very solid turn for him. There's the level 3 dodge as well. 4.2 million attack stat, basically. I always love it when units level 3 dodge a normal attack that would do double digit damage. And then straight afterwards they'll not dodge a super or something. Additional normal attack. And obviously take no damage. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. I mean, 2.5 million for him when you consider the scenario that he's in. Like, he doesn't have a lot of his best links active at the moment. That's not too bad. And then Toa, obviously she's not an attacking unit, so a million attack stat for her is whatever. But what is her defense going to be like here? 33k, that's not too bad. So, considering we don't have an item up this turn, because we only used a Princess Snake, whereas there's only a one-turn item. But he's really trying to do me in right at the end here by giving me these weird rotations that I do not want. you'll be fine in slot 1. You should be okay. I think what I'll do is I'll heal up anyway here, because if Supreme Kai of Time gets supered, or if Vegito gets supered and doesn't counter, I don't know how we would fare after that with that much HP. But also, Dark Mask King does get an attack boost if he gets hit first, so he is good to put in slot 1. Getting the first attack activates all of his like full defensive capabilities as well. So, and he can guard. Like, he's just really good, right? We need to get, which we will eventually, I'm sure, but we need to get more of these like masked Saiyan characters so we can have better units to run him with. Because the AGL Black Mask Saiyan, I should have talked about him, I guess, at the beginning when I was talking about setting up this rotation with Dark Mask King and Marseillan, but unfortunately he can be quite good in some shorter events, but he doesn't have any kind of build up or really good defense, so them two together is a really good rotation in some events, but unfortunately in these longer events the Black Marseillan doesn't quite hold up, so unfortunately he is a bit of a liability in that scenario. So let's go ahead and let my boy the Marseillan finish things off here. The rotations are all messed up anyway, but this is going to be the end. So what final attack stat can we get here? Obviously not his best rotation, but tanking for double-digit damage and then 4.5 million. So the team is obviously not the craziest, right? It doesn't stack up when you put it next to like Reps of Universe 7, Pure Saiyans, Realm of Gods, whatever. But, I mean, it's still a very strong team. There are still a lot of units that are very, very good. So I am very excited to see what heroes is going to add to this pool when the units come out later this month. So even just the awakenings that we know we're getting, I'm quite hyped for. So let me know what you're most hyped about for heroes. Have you run the crossover team lately? If you haven't, give it another shot. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.